Welcome to the Literary Titan podcast. In every episode, we dive into a book we've just read and share our thoughts, from best-selling authors to rising literary stars. We read it. Now let's talk about it.
Obadiah and the Last 100 Prophets of Edom is a biblical historical novel that plays like a faith-driven epic, with palace intrigue, desert escapes, prophetic confrontation, and open warfare all braided together into one long narrative push. It takes the world around Obadiah, Ahab, Jezebel, and Elijah and turns it into a high-stakes story about loyalty, persecution, and public belief. From the opening battle sequence onward, the book aims for sweep and intensity, and it rarely lets the pressure off. It isn't shy about its purpose either. This is a novel built to declare, repeatedly and unapologetically, that history, power, and survival all bend toward one divine truth. What stood out most to me was how clearly the book understands its own register. The prose is deliberate, solemn, and often cinematic, with short, emphatic lines that give scenes a drumbeat rhythm. That style works especially well in moments of danger, whether the story is following hidden prophets through caves, women trying to survive inside Jezebel's orbit, or crowds gathering for judgment and spectacle. The repeated refrain about one God gives the novel a liturgical pulse, so even when the plot branches into many characters and locations, the book keeps pulling everything back to the same spiritual center. Obadiah himself comes across less as a conventional action hero and more as a steady spiritual axis for the whole story. Other characters bring different kinds of energy around him. Ahab is proud and unstable, Jezebel is coldly theatrical, Elijah arrives with force, and figures like Jazer, Tobiah, Elena, and Hadar help widen the book's emotional range. I like that the novel keeps returning to the cost of faith in ordinary bodies and ordinary homes, not just in courts or battlefields. One of its best lines, "Belief does not always remove peril, sometimes it invites it," gets at the book's real subject better than any plot summary could. The novel also has a strong sense of momentum. Once the hunt for Obadiah and the prophets is underway, the story keeps moving through raids, imprisonments, secret rescues, prophecies, and the long build toward Carmel. Even when the book pauses for speeches or declarations, it still feels like it's advancing toward a reckoning. By the time it reaches the mountain, it knows exactly what kind of climax it wants. In a line like, "The people think fire will decide this," he said, "but it is obedience that summoned it," captures the book's mix of drama and conviction really well. What I came away with more than anything is that this book is an earnest, full-throated religious epic. It's interested in kings and prophets, but also in servants, villagers, prisoners, and those caught between fear and devotion. It treats faith not as background decoration, but as the engine of every choice, every conflict, and every act of endurance. If that's the kind of novel it's set out to be, then it succeeds by committing all the way, with conviction, intensity, and a voice that never backs away from what it believes.
Thanks for joining us on the Literary Titan podcast. If today's review sparked your interest, be sure to pick up a copy of the book and experience it for yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, or share it with a fellow book lover. Until next time, keep reading, not just to escape, but to grow.